1, 2, and 3. All right. Claudia, it's been forever. It's been like a year.
It's been
like
longer
2 years.
than a year. Yes.
What year did you graduate?
2018. We're already 21.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
So have you been doing anything during the pandemic, or you just been kind of like staying at home?
Staying at home. I've been doing like little baby photography shoots and stuff, but just pretty like.
What do you mean by baby photography? Just like small shoots?
Huh? Like just
small
shoots. Yep. Here around the house, at the park, somewhere where it's open space, because I'm not a mass person.
Definitely. So one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you was because I don't really see a lot of people do what you do, and it inspires me in a way that I want to do more stuff like how you do it, because you have this look and definitely like a meaning behind your photography, where you dive into Latin culture, I guess more Mexican American culture, and then you just do so much, and it's just like I just love it. It's just very intricate, and everything you have tells a story, and it's so nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I like doing that.
So what inspires you? Like what pushed you to do that? Like so I know you're from like McAllen, so like is it like being from there, or is it like what inspires you?
What inspired me was that my family's from Monterrey, and since they're from over there, it's just like being able to grow up from here, in the United States, South Texas, and then being able to go in the summers and any holidays to Mexico is like, it's like a big part of me. And then being able, like, people like getting cut off to being able to go over there because of everything that is going on, it's like a part missing. So I feel like trying to remember things that when I was little, like my family working in the I call it migrating, like working the fields and the factories, it's sort of like that stuff is getting lost. So to me, it's like trying to record it the way I saw it when I was little. Does that make
Definitely. Sense? So do you see more, have you shot in Mexico? Have you gone out there to shoot?
Yeah, I shot in Mexico. Well, the senior project for the exhibition, that was like the first time I had gone back in maybe like 10 years to Mexico.
And for people who don't know, what was your senior project?
Our senior project was elements. So it was like fire, water, spirit, land, whatever the elements are. And I picked water, fire, and land. So I took pictures at a cotton field, and then I took pictures of a bakery man from Mexico. So I went to
remember that one.
And the next one was the third one was in San Antonio at the San Antonio River, because, well, of course, the Alamo and all that stuff. So to me, that made. So yeah, that's what was my senior project.
That's awesome. When you said that cotton picture, I can see that one in my head. That's the one where you had the lady in that outfit. It was what's that outfit called?
The dress is just a Mexican traditional dress. It's what they would wear. They would sew their own designs and stuff. So yeah.
So you shot her just like in a regular cotton field?
Well, yep. Here in
what equipment did you use?
On that project, that photo shoot, I used a D1 kit, which pretty much I used for all of them. Was a D1 kit from ProPhoto, which is 2 lights. But I actually just used one light on that one, and a small softbox.
So typically, when you shoot, do you like to take like a whole big kit of things, or do you just like to do like kind of minimal? Like for me, like I have these big studio lights, and so I definitely go out and I take these big studio lights because I don't have anything else, and I'm just like, I'm gonna make this work. But what do you like to use?
I like to use the light, but to mimic natural light, because like sometimes the sun is too harsh, and well, down here it's not like a lot of trees or a lot of shade, so you can use a reflector. So what I try to do is try to shoot very like late, maybe like when the sun's going down, golden hour, and then just pop a little bit of light wherever the sun is at, so it looks natural to like a natural photo. So I don't like to use too much lighting, but I love the D1 kit. If I can use it, I'll use it. I'll try my best to use it.
So what kind of equipment do you have now? Because I know when we were at the Art Institute and we were able to check things out, we had so much equipment available to us.
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, now like on the flip end, we have to kind of buy that ourselves. And thankfully, like I've been doing pretty well, so I've been able to buy a few things here and there. But what do you like? What do you use?
Right now, I've just been using maybe like 3 reflectors. My camera is a Nikon D750, and I just bought a 50 millimeter lens and what is it, 24 to 70 or 24? Yeah, 24 to 70 lens. That's pretty much all I've been using.
So you don't really use lights, you're just like reflecting?
Just reflecting right now. Yep.
That's really awesome. I want to see some of your new work because I haven't seen it in a little minute.
I can actually show you some if you like.
Yeah, if you have like a little portfolio, you can do the screen share. We can see what's all up with that.
I can show you what I have. The last one that I did, it wasn't Mexican, but it was like a pregnancy.
Maternity shoot?
Maternity shoot, there you go.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while to load, but.
Got it. I'm here. I am here. So when you work with like, because I've seen you work with like mariachis and what are they called? I guess the ladies in the dresses. Yeah, all these things.
Yeah.
When you work with these people, how do you approach them? Because I feel like that's one thing that kind of photographers struggle with is finding subjects. And I get the question all the time, like, how do you get models to pose for you and do these things? And I'm like, they come to me. After a while, if you get a big following, you know, they come to you. You can kind of branch off of one model's friends, but it's different. So it's different for you because you're looking for a certain thing. You're looking for this cultured subject, and you want these things. So how do you approach these people? Because I never approach people in real life. I'm shy as hell.
Pretty much. Well, I attend a lot of events, like the Mexican culture is like maybe a posada, a charro event, mariachis, like where they perform like at a restaurant or something. Because I mean, they all have to start somewhere. They're doing that for a living because it's part of them. So I like to first like, oh, how long have you been doing it? Or if you would like any pictures, like I'm up for it. Like even if it's free, like sometimes I don't even charge or anything because it's something that I like to do. I do it for fun. Like for me, photography is just fun. So when it comes to those type of projects, my fine art, it's mostly like just free. And I give them pictures or whatever. I tell them if you pose or you want to do this, I'll give you all the copies, you know, the edited ones for free. Like for me, because that's just, it continues it. Because then from there, I meet somebody else with another talent or something like that. So to me, just talking, trying to be friendly as possible, having a small pop.
I think definitely in the long run, you should have like your own little gallery, just like just have little shows. I would say start there in McAllen, but like branch out, like really like, so where I'm at here in Utah, it is really hard to find really good Mexican food.
Oh yeah,
it sucks ass. I'm so mad. But I found a few spots and they're okay. They're not like the best, but I do feel like people like to embrace other cultures and check it out. So I do think that you need to go on tour with your little gallery. Just make some big prints and then send them out and be like, hey, can we do a pop-up show? Something like that.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really good for you.
Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me, like, they come, like, my bedroom it's pitch white, and everybody likes going in there because it's like my blanket is white, and all I have is like my pictures popping out in color.
Yeah.
Because I like color. I love pastels, are like my favorite color, but color, like bright colors in pictures, I just love it. So to me, it's just the brightness of that culture, the Mexican culture is just so colorful. So
when you put stuff together in like Photoshop or when you're editing, I guess, do you focus more on like capturing the best colors and the best exposures first, or are you more worried about like, let's make sure we get the model in the right way, or like what's the balance? Because personally for me, I'm like, let's get the shot. It might be a little overblown right here, but I can edit that, because I also do a lot of editing. I fix the lights, I up the vibrance, I'm liquefying the bodies. So what is your kind of like process? What's like something that
My
you're all go to?
process is I don't mess a lot with Photoshop. So to me, it's more like getting the perfect shot through the camera, trying to focus, trying to bounce the light from to the reflector so it can give that perfect, nice, natural color on them. And I try to get the background because like I don't like to overexpose because I want the color. And when you overexpose, like let's say the sky's super pretty blue, but in the picture, because you're trying to get the person to look normal and balanced, the background is blown out. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like I try to my best to just try to get it as not more on camera than being going into editing, because my editing is super simple. It's just like a little bit of curves, a little bit of vibrance, a little bit of brightness. I try to sharpen up a little bit because sometimes my sharpness is not that great, especially since I'm a little blind, so it doesn't look as focused. But I do like try to get the perfect shot through the camera, then going into an editing. That's just me, and it seems to work because I don't use a light. It's weird.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's something that's it's something that I feel like people need to hear, because I know a lot of photographers, or plenty of photographers, who don't use any lights at all. Like, I don't know, you remember Danielle? She does like the senior portraits. She really doesn't use any lights. She's all reflector.
They're all reflector. It's crazy because she's always posting them. I'm like, how do you get that light, like that warmness? And she hates Photoshop, which is crazy. Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you get that perfect shot? Like,
that's the next person I need to talk to.
Yeah, she's like pro. Like, she beats pros. Like, she's so good with lighting. She was like the person that I admired at school the most, because I thought she was just like tough competition in school.
I think on the low, everybody thought the same thing. I remember Daisha was like, "That's my competition," and I was like, "Okay."
It was. I don't know why. Like, her stuff is just so beautiful. Like,
I think it's just the natural light. It's always shooting at the right time. She's a golden hour, and then I think for her that she always finds like these perfect spots that are outdoors. So it's not just like same old studio or just in some spot. I do want to talk to her, because that's the one thing I want to try and find is like places to shoot.
Yeah, and her location, and she keeps them secret, because I've tried before. I was like, hey, where did she go? She's like, that's my secret. Like, like I can't tell you. So yeah, but nah, she's amazing. She's a great photographer. Yeah.
So do you scout for spots? Like, do you ever drive around and you're like, I want to take a picture there eventually? Like, you'll see something on the highway, you're like, I'm gonna take a picture there. I'm gonna start looking.
Yes, I do. I try as much as possible because I don't like to reshoot at the same place. But that seems to be like what Danielle sort of likes to do. So I guess when she looks at her photos, she's like, oh, I can do this better. So for me, it's just like, I just like using that one spot one time. Like, I want to make that person's photo unique. Like, nobody else goes there, or somebody else, but like, she made it special. It's just mine.
I definitely feel that. That's very interesting. For me, I like to go back, because I want to make sure that I got the best image that I can possibly make, because I'll repeat what I did, and then I'll try new things, and then I'll break it all down. A lot of the times, the first time I'm there, that's the best set I got with that model. Like, it's just like, those came out so good, and then I'll take somebody else there, and it's like, it's all right.
Yeah, and that's how I feel too. Like, I'll take, like, there's sometimes like, oh, it's because I like how you did hers at that place, and I was like, okay. But then when I go, it's like, I'm not as excited about it because I already shot there. To me, it's like, I already did those shots. How can I change it up for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely have to have the excitement. I feel like that can drive photographers when working with like a new model, or just like in general.
Yeah.
I got this cup for you.
Oh.
It's the Mandalorian.
I know. I see your shirt too. I was like, man, dude is
I
wearing
wore it
Star
just for you
Wars right
because you love Star Wars. Yeah, yeah. I got
now.
this one too. So I got a couple of them. I got Baby Yoda.
Aw.
And then I got the little droid that protects. So that I got them on Amazon.
Oh, Amazon is good.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, no. So I think definitely having that excitement is a thing because I've also had sets where I work with models for the first time and I just blow it out the water, and then I'm always chasing that like, oh damn, like I gotta do better. I gotta do better.
Yeah.
So do you keep working with like the same type of people, or do you like to kind of like change up your subjects?
Sometimes I like working with the same people just because they already know what I'm looking for and they seem to be interested in that same stuff. Let's say like if I find like a new spot, I'll take someone just to practice there. And then when I find the subject that I want, the kind of person that I see my picture in my head, that's when I take them back, and that's where I get even more excited because they're what I was looking for that spot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How do you come up with your concepts? Does it just come to you, or are you inspired by anybody?
There's an photographer there in Austin called Diego Orura, and he focuses a lot. He travels around Mexico a lot, which makes me, I want to travel Mexico a lot, even to like the smallest little towns, because there's a lot of different things, food, the music, how things started. So to me, seeing him made me think about like all of that's being lost, like, you know, because the way things are right now. So that's just the way I look for subjects and stuff. That I It's weird because it's not till like I see a place or a person and I'm like, oh, that would be beautiful. Like, you know, capturing that. So I don't really like think about it, or sometimes I'll have an idea and I write it down, but I'll forget about it until like I see the person. Like, oh, that's my idea. I remember having an idea for that. So that's when I start. Like, yeah, and I'll be like, hey, I had this idea. Like, you're cool. Like, you have this nice, like, you know, vibe. Can I take photography? You know, like, and then I show them my work, and then from there, like, we just start talking and texting, and we start shooting. Make a plan.
So when you say you want to go around Mexico, like what places would you want to visit? And is there any place that's not like one of the big cities? Is there any place that's like something you know about, or you heard about, that you want to go?
I want to go back because that's where I went for the sweetbread. Bustamante. It's not that far and it's not that deep, but just because I love sweetbread. So in that town, it's such a small town, it's just like a square, and the town is like it's just buildings all different colors, and then the main little buildings there, and his shop is like maybe like 3 blocks, I would say like 3 blocks outside of that little town, and he has the fire pits that are like a U. I think you've seen that picture, right? The one where he's making the bread.
Is that where you shot the sweetbread guy?
Yeah, and he was out of town going back to where we were staying at, and it was just like by luck. Like I didn't even know those things still existed. They just told me there's a guy that still makes bread like that. So in this little small town that is like maybe like 3 hours outside where we were staying. So we had to drive and be like just looking for it. Like we would drive down the street and everything. And then on the way out is where he was at. And I was like, look, there it is. Cause he has the big old fire pits, the U ones. And he was making the bread, and I got off and I asked him for permission and he let me shoot him. So it's just, I want to go back there because I feel like I didn't shoot enough because of everything's going on. Like you see the people with the guns and the army, and it's just like, it scares you for them to see with all this photography equipment, like, you know, like what's going on, like, you know. So I would love to go back there.
So that was my next question. As far as going out and, you know, like we do our thing, and I feel like you can definitely capture a lot of like Mexican culture, Latin American culture in McAllen, in San Antonio, in Texas in general, because there's just so much of it there. going to Mexico, I feel like would intimidate a lot of people. Do you have any tips? Is it dangerous as like the media says? Like what would be like your tips?
Try to fit in as much as possible. No, my tips is just, I don't know, just pray before you leave and pray when you come back, because it can be a good day, it can be a bad day. It's just, I mean, if it's your time, it's your time. But like, I really don't have to just like pray when you cross and pray when you come, because I don't fly. That's one thing. And we drove. I got picked up at the border and they drove me all the way to Monterrey, which is from where I live, it's 2 hours. And then in Monterrey to that place was another 3 hours. And I'm telling you, like the street is like one car going this way and one car going this way, and it's smaller. So you could even like squeeze to the side, and it's mountains. Like there's just, it goes down. So
I went to Monterrey for a wedding actually right before the pandemic. Actually,
I remember.
Me and Alexis.
You went a little after. I was like, this dude went to Mexico. He should have told me. I would have gone with him.
No, yeah, we went to stay with my stepdad's family, and it was very interesting. And then we were in like the big city, so I didn't feel not safe, but I was just like, okay, well, I just keep my guard up, you know. We didn't drive around at night, but I mean, it was actually really pretty. And then the venue had to be one of like the most beautiful little venues that I had ever seen. They had this big tree, and it was wrapped in like Christmas LED lights, and it was right in the middle. Me and Alexis took a picture in front of it. I'll have to send it to you after. But it was oh man, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Yes, like I think Monterrey is like super beautiful. It's like a whole different world over there. So the food is so fresh and so delicious, and like I know like we can find some stuff here, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Something about over there, like the spices, the avocados are so huge. Like
it's all right there.
Yeah, it's not like processed, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it is, but
no. It comes down to like the fresh ingredients. That's one thing I've noticed. So being in San Antonio or in Texas in general, I feel like we have access to so much like fresh growth of stuff that we're able to cook all these really good fresh Mexican foods. And when I got here, I started going to this place called Winco. So in Utah, there's a place called Winco. There's no HEB. So at Winco, they have good prices. It's kind of like a Walmart, to be honest. And so you go, you buy your foods, but none of it's that fresh. Like I hated it. I'm telling you, for 2 months I was here, I was pissed off, just so mad. And then I found out about a place called Harmon's. And the only reason we had went there is because someone told us that it's the only place to get Big Red in Utah. And I was like, we'll go look at it. We'll go check it out. It's like HEB. It's like Whole Foods / HEB. It has so much fresh fruits and vegetables. And they have like, Claudia, I bought 4 avocados because I was like, at least 2 of these are going to be bad. They were all green, fresh, beautiful. I was like, what? I was like, I'm never not going there. So I'm definitely like the flavors and stuff is wherever it's grown from, you want that freshness. And then like back to that wedding, I think it was really funny because the people who were having the wedding, they were trying to be a little fancy. So they were giving us like those little portions and like these artistic plates, which I was like, give me rice and beans, dude. Like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, like it's I get it. Like you want to be fancy, but I'm hungry over here. So we left and I threw a big fit. I was like, we need to eat something good right now. Like I'm pissed off. And so we went to just like, it's like a little, like a stall on the side of the road. And he was like, one of my uncles was like, oh, this place is good. This is good. So we tried it, and that thing was off the chain. It was so good.
The burgers, everything. My favorite thing is to go get is a trip cocktail. Was it trip cocktail?
Shrimp cocktail.
Yeah. Corte de camarón, right? It's hard to say it in English for me. Yeah. And they're like, here they're like, what, $10, $11? I don't know how much they're over there in Utah. But here in the Valley, they're like super expensive for like a small. Well, over there I can get like the big one for like $1.50. So I'll like eat it like crazy. And it's just, the shrimp is like huge. So that's like my spot to go. Like the fish from over there is good. The burgers, they have like, they can't touch Whataburger. Like it's just amazing over there. Like I love everything about Mexico. If it were up to me, I live in Mexico, but my mom doesn't let me.
My mom doesn't let me.
My mom doesn't let me.
We had a burger out there. It was they made the beef patty, which was really good. It had everything on it, but they put like, I think it was like a Monterey cheddar on top, and then they put a slice of ham on it. And I was like, what the hell is this? And so I bit into it and I was like, we gotta get burgers.
Because you know how here we call them hamburgers?
Yeah.
And it's like really like, where's the ham? And over there is hamburger too. So they actually put a ham in it. Like to them, that's what makes a hamburger, because it has to have ham. It's not just a beef patty.
That's interesting.
And a lot of people don't think about it.
Would you ever go out to like take some pictures of the food? Because I think that you could definitely dive into that. Do you have stuff like that?
No, I haven't. When I was in San Antonio, yes, we did like that food truck project, and then from there, I got maybe like another little, like a little job there that you would do like aguas frescas, like fresh water. Was it? Yeah, right. The watermelon and flavor flower water, right? So I did that over there, and then when I came over here, I did some little stuff, but not a lot. And that's what I've been trying to get into, is the food side, because here that's like really needed here. Like for the food trucks, we're getting food trucks over here in the valley, so they need pictures. So I've been trying to talk to them and see like what I can do and work with them for their food truck. So
I definitely think that is a lane that you could definitely get into, and then also share your Mexican culture stuff, because I feel like food is a big thing in culture, and every different culture. But typically with the Mexican food, we would want to see how it's all laid out. Not everybody has the same layout. So you know how long I've been looking for carne asada fries out here? I've been looking for a minute. I finally found them, but I've been looking for them for a minute. So, but no, yeah, like those, you can definitely get like a whole little food Instagram going.
You just need to learn how to make it. Learn how to cook. Open your own, learn how to do it, open, and you'll make money just with food over there.
Well, I learned how to make fajitas, and so I learned a little marinade, which they're pretty decent, but I need to learn how to make the al pastor and then the asada and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I have some pre-marinated stuff, but it doesn't taste like home. So I'm like, what's the difference, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, that's I don't know. Food is amazing.
So when we went to do our food project, what we did was we traded photos for food, or at least I did. Yeah. So I think that's something that people should know. If you go to these food trucks that are just starting off, they need pictures, and you can either charge them or trade for food. Make a good deal.
The deal is better when you try their food, because then you know to return and not to return.
Yeah. But is there any like food trucks out there that kind of stick out that you really want to work with?
Yes, I've been wanting. I don't know if you've seen this series on Netflix called The Taco Chronicles. Have you seen it? Okay. If you haven't, and you haven't paid attention, you should like totally watch it, because they go through everywhere in Mexico to find like the best tacos. And there is this taco that is called La Birria tacos. It's something like barbacoa, but it has like a different, it has a soup to it. So you dip the taco. The taco is like with white cheese with birria in it, and you dip it into the sauce that comes with the meat, right? And it has like this like spiciness kind of taste. I don't know, like it's not too spicy, but it just like hits like perfect. So they open a food truck here, and it's called Queso Mia or something like that. And I've been trying to I want to work with them to do their pictures, because their food is really good, and I like their setup. It's sort of like mine kind of style, and that kind of taco is like super deep down, like Mexico from like Culiacan, Chiapas over there. So that's where I'm at right now. It's just working with food trucks right now.
You think you should just go over there and be like, hey man, I got a camera right here, and give me some food.
Yeah. I do go over there and I order, and of course I pay because they won't give me, because I already showed them my work. So I have to. So I work with them and I do give them some little stuff. They haven't opened their Instagram just yet, so as soon as they're opening, I'll share with you so you can see.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. That's definitely really awesome. I keep thinking about those the thing you just described, because I've heard of them and I've seen the I guess videos of people dunking their tacos. I've just never known like what it is, you know.
Tacos. They're called birria tacos. It's delicious.
I'm sure they're not in Utah. I'm gonna have to go to California.
Some people, well, I think California would have it just a bit, but not as much, because we're barely getting them. I've been wanting to go to Mexico just to go. Yucatan is where I want to go, but like a little bit outside, like the smaller towns.
When are you gonna go? You need to get yourself a little truck and just go.
I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm going in July for a whole month. Mm-hmm. So I'll be going to Mexico. I'll be staying with my family over there. I'm not too sure if my mom's gonna go with me. She'll probably go and then just come back. But I'm thinking I'm gonna stay there till the end of July and just shoot whatever I can. Yeah, because what I'm working right now, I'm a paraprofessional. I work for a school district, and I get paid monthly, so which is good. I don't have to worry about like summer job or anything. Like I work from home, so it would work for me to stay over there for a month and coming. So
that's interesting. I just quit my job. I'm just gonna do photography.
I was like, what? And my mom tells me too, she's like, why don't you just quit? I was like, because I need equipment. Photography gives me just so much right now. So
yeah, that's so I well, for what I do, I mean, I have my OnlyFans, and then I sell like my photo sets. So I get a lot of people who pay out. But for me also, like, you know, being married to my wife who's in the military, we don't really pay like for the housing and stuff like that. We really just pay credit card bills. And so like we just bought this really badass furniture set. That's why I told you, give me a minute to call you. It's so I'll show you after this, but it's so beautiful. It's super awesome. But for the most part, I was working at Amazon, and all that money that I was able to save from like not paying rent or anything, I just put a bunch into like equipment. So I have 2 lights that I had bought a while back. And then I have my Sony, which I bought during the pandemic. And when it first started, everybody was laughing at me because everybody was like, they're having the riots, and everybody's story, they're like, it's rioting, it's crazy. And then like the next story is like me, like, I got a camera. And so everybody was like, dude, like there's crazy shit going on. I was like, well, now I can capture it.
I know that was me when I bought a film. Oh, and I bought a stabilizer because I want to add video to my photography. So I bought was it Roland stabilizer, like the ones we would use at school?
You know, I bought one too. It's right here. Hold on, let me show you this. Because I want to dive into video as well. I just don't know what all to do. But it's called the Crane. It's called the Crane 2.
Oh yeah, I think I got, is that the one I got? Maybe I did get that one. No, mine's a little different. Because does yours let you control it from the phone?
Yeah, I can control it from my tablet.
And you can even add the phone to it, to the thing, like it can have the camera and your phone.
I don't know how to do that though.
Yeah, I've been trying to, like, I don't know, I'm always trying to, I don't know if you remember Isaiah from school, the video guy, he would always hang out with Diera and all of them.
I think so.
Yeah, him. Look, me and him like try to keep in touch because I always have like question, like what do we do? How do I do to do this in video or whatever? So he helped me pick that out. So I've been trying to mess with it, but it's a little difficult. I feel like I should have taken a video class in school.
Well, that's the thing. So that's kind of the whole reason I kind of started this, because I feel like as people who have graduated from AI, I feel like we could learn differently. I feel like that last year at AI is kind of just like, let's refine your work. You're done learning. Let's refine the work, which is good, But as I got out, I'm like, hey, what the hell is this? What is this? How do I use this thing? And so I started this whole thing because I don't know how to use this. And eventually I want to have a video guy on to tell me how to fucking use this. Yeah. And then I want to teach people in general, just like, hey, this is how you get started. Because I definitely see a lot of amateur work that I'm like, you could fix that with just this. And so, like, are you, go ahead.
Danielle has added video to her photography as well. So she doesn't do just photographs. She also does video.
You have to. I feel like that's the next step. That's definitely the next step to start incorporating videos into your stuff. And on like what I do, it's like, you know, getting the models walking around, kind of doing some sexy poses, stuff like that. And I think for you, you can definitely do like a mini documentary on just like that place that does the pan dulces and stuff. That would be awesome. That's like, everybody's here for content. I want people to create good content.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to add video. I want to do like mini document. I want to do like my fine art on one just for me, and then do like the photography business on the side. Right now, like I've been talking to my mom a lot that I want to open my own studio here in the Valley, because there isn't a lot of studios like where you can go like rent or be part of something for photographers. You know, everything here in the Valley is location photography. And I just like, okay, I don't want to do that. Like I want in studio, and my location is to be my fine art stuff. So I'm trying to.
He would be my tip for that, just because. So I've had like insight on the business. One of my old bosses that I used to work with, he has a lot of money doing photography. He does kids sports. He does all these things, and he makes a lot of money. So I told him, I was like, why don't you open up a studio? And we were talking about it years ago. And he was just talking about how it's hard to maintain because families don't really come in for studio work. They want outside things. And so I think that's good and bad. Bad because photographers who want studios can't afford them because no one's going to come to them. But good because it's allowing amateurs and people who are starting off to be like, oh, I don't have a studio, I do outside work. And they're like, that's what we want. And then you kind of evolve from there. But my tip would be, and that's something that I'd want to kind of talk to some other people about, would be get together with a bunch of other photographers and then go halvesies on rent for a place.
Yeah. No, I know about renting, but I think I want to build something for me, like for something that's gonna make me different from all other photographers here in the Valley. So like I want to open a studio with land where I can like do the landscape and do my own photo shoots, then going to go look at for a spot to go do a simple maternity shoot or something like that. Do you get me? Like I want to do something for where I own, and I can also profit from other photographers as well. Like say, oh, can I go shoot in your land because you have this? Like I want to create a place where other photographers can come and shoot as well. Because I know that I'm not gonna be able to shoot all the time. So how am I gonna bring like profit for myself, you know? And also where I can host like weddings and events and stuff like that. So it's not just like photography I want like the business around photography. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And I think as photographers, we need to have as many options available to us as we can, because a lot of people are like, you just take pictures, like that's not going to make you any money. I hear it all the time from my grandma.
Yeah.
So it's like thinking about it on a different spectrum. My idea was to do more of like the pop-up studios. Have you seen those little ones? Like I don't know if you ever went to like the flower vault.
Yeah, that one. I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I did a birthday shoot there. I think for like a couple years back, and then they have the Wonder Chamber there in San Antonio, and then over here, it's called like Mysteries the mystery place or something like that. I don't remember, but there's more and more little pop-up studios where they're making these very intricate scenes where people can just go take pictures with their phones.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like on the flip side, you're able to go in there, create as a really badass photographer and create some really badass looks, and then open that up to everybody else who's like, I want to take pictures just like Claudia did, or just like this other photographer who went over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think doing that is definitely another way for photographers to maybe start trying to get out there, working with like set designers. But I do think that'd be really cool out there in McAllen if you were to kind of put some really cool stuff together. And then you can make it seasonal too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I mean, yes, like sometimes the way I think about it, it's like we try to plan photo shoots on like days, like let's say like this Saturday. The Saturday I had to cancel my shoots because it's drizzling and there's no, sun or anything. So I want to be able to give the option to my clients where, okay, you know what, we can do where I can have packages where I can create packages. Oh, we're going to do the inside today and we'll do the outside like another day. Or we'll just do studio stuff. Like, I want to not be able to cancel and then get tired of them waiting for a day to be nice and pretty just so we can shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to have like a backup place and know like it's nice. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I have them in my head and I just don't know how to explain what I want.
I totally get what you're saying. You just need a place to kind of start shooting in. That's something that I actually created when the pandemic started, because I work with a lot of models and I used to take them to the studio there at school. And then every now and then I'd either get a hotel, we'd shoot in there, or I'd be like, let's go to Canyon Lake, or let's go over here. I've heard about this place, let's go over there. So we'd go to all these places. But once the pandemic happened, everybody was like, I don't want to go anywhere. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because a lot of people are still like afraid, like, and I mean, we can't just stop our lives just because of the pandemic too. Like, we need to take care of our families and stuff. So to me, it's like I gotta think of a new way to adapt with how the world is changing right now. So to me, like, the studio would be really good in our own lot and stuff. So it'll be like, oh, it's safe here, like, not a lot of people.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I actually just converted my apartment into a little studio. And so, I mean, I had my bed and I had lights up, and then I started doing things like on the floor. I was like, I am not stopping shooting. Everybody's like, there's a pandemic. I was like, fuck that pandemic. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it in, bro. We're gonna get it in.
That's how it was. I was like, no, we're gonna shoot. We're starting to take pictures. But at first it was tough.
So how is it now? Like, what's the difference as far as everything goes? Like, do you feel like it's opening up there? And where are you exactly? McAllen, right?
I'm in Westlaco. I'm at maybe like 30 minutes outside of McAllen. But yeah, we've been home pretty much. I just went back to work, to the school. So I'm working at the school now. The kids are finally coming to campus, which is nice. Like, it feels normal, but it's not normal. Like, only a certain amount of students can be on there, and pretty much everywhere is like you still are required to wear a mask, keep 6 feet and stuff. So it's still a little tough here in the valley. So
one thing I think is really crazy about this whole thing is that like, it didn't affect me directly. It affected my little sister. My little sister goes to a private school. It's been open for 50 years. And because of the pandemic, they said this next year they're not going to do required masks, and then they're going to open up to full capacity because they want to start getting people in. Not enough people signed up, so it closed down. Ooh. And I was like, that's like the saddest thing ever. It's been open for 50 years, and so it's like all these kids just got displaced, and they're like, where do we go? Yeah, I think that's really wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think in my classroom we had like good 12 students. That's the max in the class. But I think it just needs to go back to normal. Like, I mean, the numbers have gone down and stuff. So to me, it's like, okay, like, it's fine.
Let's go. Yeah, no, I mean, we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see what all happens. It's just gonna take time.
Yeah,
but yeah, so So I do have one more question about, do you partake in like any of like the Facebook groups?
The Facebook groups, let me see, no.
Why not?
I don't know. I just feel like if I see other people's work, I'm just gonna want to mimic their work, or I don't know. I just never am. I think the only time I was part of the groups it was in San Antonio when we had to look for models and ask questions for internship and stuff. Those were like the only times I ever asked for help. Other than that, I just like if I know a photographer, I'm gonna go reach out to you, like But groups, no.
So I just started. Well, I've always been a part of them, but I've just started joining more because I'm out here in Utah. Like I don't know anybody. I don't even like even when I was working at Amazon. Like a lot of those people there, like I have a job where I stay in one spot all day and nobody talks to me. So I was like, I fucking quit. It's too much for me. So
And you're
so
talking person.
yeah. So I mean I just had to let go, but I could not find anyone to talk to, like anybody to start working with. I didn't know where to start. So I just started on the Facebook groups. I just started posting my work. And I think that it's good and bad because it's good because I start getting a lot of new followers, new people to the area. And then once I find someone, then if I find one person that I can work with, I'm like coronavirus. I spread. Like I'll get everybody. So I'll get their friends, those friends, and everybody in Utah. And then all of a sudden, okay, Enrique's here. Have you heard about him? And so that's my favorite part about the groups. But my least favorite parts is just because I don't like it because of what I do. Like I do lingerie, I do things, and so
stuff,
yeah. And so I either get like people who are, I guess, overly enthusiastic about my work, and like guys who are like, I want to be there when you shoot. Like I want to see some stuff. Like I want you to teach me. That's annoying. And then I also get a lot of people who critique me, who have no business critiquing me, who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's the most annoying thing. And I try to stay so open. Like I love being critiqued. I love being destroyed. That's my favorite thing. When you tell me this is why you messed up on this photo and you shouldn't do this again. You shouldn't even show this photo to anybody. I'm like, I take it, I cry, and then I'm like, all right, I need to fix this because this is not what I need to produce.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's good and bad because sometimes you get some good critiques, but that's another thing I created this page for, or this channel for, is because I want to start getting more people on. I want to critique them. I want us to destroy them. I want us to like really break it down and say this is bad, this is why it's bad, or this is fucking fantastic, but you can fix this.
Yeah, that's what I liked about our school, especially like having Tom for a professor. Tom Turner, do you remember him? And as much as he made me cry in school, like I still think he was one of the best professors just because he was straightforward. He would tell you like, hey, this is good, this is not good. He would make you question yourself, like, like, is it good? Why is it good? Like, and it's like, well, I think it's good, but is it really good, Claudia? Like you're thinking in your head, are you good?
Yeah.
Like, what else can I do? And I like that, but I guess that's why I don't join the groups, because I guess I don't know you, so I don't want you to critique my stuff. You know what I mean? So don't tell me like what it is. Like I have family members that are like, why haven't you really pursued your photography business? Or why are you working for a school district? You know what I mean? Like, why you went to school, you paid all this money to get that great degree, and you don't have nothing to show for it. And it's like, well, how do you know I have nothing to show for it? Like, just because I don't post my stuff online? Like, it's like my clients are like friends from friends, like, their friends, their family. That's how I get my clients. And I feel that's more intimate, like more special for me. So I guess that's why I don't really post as much on Facebook or get into groups, because I don't know you, like, and I don't want you to tell me what's wrong with my pictures when I know, like, I'd rather have someone I know tell me, like Mr. Tom.
Mr. Tom.
Yeah.
Don Thomas.
Yeah, like Danielle will tell me straight out to like, hey, you could have done this, or why did your background's a little blown out, like, like that stuff from people that I know that I trust. Because I feel like if you hear negativity from other people, it just brings you down and for me, it brings me down and I don't know how to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, that's something that I definitely have to kind of break down when I get critiqued by people on the Facebook groups. Because again, like I'll definitely get those people who have no business critiquing me. Who I'm like, I've seen your work. You're trash. Don't talk to me. But I definitely get people who are pretty up there, and they're like, hey, you should do this one thing. Because I think to really give you a paragraph of like why your shit is bad, you have to be an amateur. You have to be on amateur hour, not creating the best work. So me and you, we're on different levels already, right? You know your exposures, you know how to do your lighting, you know how to not blow out a subject. So we're on another level. So we want critiques from people like Tom, people like Danielle, all like people like who are our instructors. And so that's another reason why I made this, because I want to start getting those people together and really just maybe having like a group where people send in their work and we just break it all down. Why is this, why is this good? How could this work a little better? How could we tweak it, nitpick it? I think that's probably the best thing for a photographer to do. And only I feel like the best photographers can get destroyed and build right back up.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the best thing. So that's pretty much it. All my questions. So I'm gonna have one more question. That's how I'm gonna start ending all the podcasts. If you had a piece of advice or philosophy for new coming photographers or just photographers in general, what would it be?
Question yourself. Question if that picture is good, because sometimes you think like, oh, I got that picture, but there's always something more you can add to it. So to me, it's just like, question yourself if the picture is done. Like, is it good? What else can I have done to that picture? What can I do? Can I reshoot that picture? So like question your work, because there will be people questioning you. So you want to question yourself before they question you. So you have an answer, like, why did that picture like that? Why did I photograph it at this time? Like, that's, I think you need to question yourself those questions before someone questions in you, so like what to answer. I feel like that's what I lacked at school, because I always was doubting myself and I was never like straightforward. Like, I shot this picture because I wanted the lighting for this or whatever. Like, so to me, it's questioning yourself. Yeah.
Awesome. That was a good podcast. Thank you for coming on. I look forward to posting this and seeing what people say. I definitely want to see how the comments grow. And then I'll definitely have you guys back on. I'll have you back on, and I want to have like a big kind of group where we all kind of talk about stuff.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, yeah. All right. Let me end this recording, and we'll see you later.
Okay. Bye.